This is a good shield for me to hide behind, but I think I will take inspiration from Pradita and stand in front of you. Thank you for giving me this invitation to narrate a story and message of Christmas. And your director, my dear friend, Mr. Vijay Preetham, has adequately warned me that it's going to be 15.00 minutes. So it's a joy to be present with us, with all of you this evening. We know that we are here to remember and celebrate the birthday of this person, Jesus Christ. And as you all know, with birthday parties, we always talk about the birthday boy or girl, definitely. And it's out of place not to talk about the birthday boy. Imagine having a nice meal and a cake and sing songs, and finally he says, whose birthday is that? And you say, oops, sorry, we forgot the birthday boy and all this. It happens many times in Christmas that in the midst of celebrations, lights and songs, we may tend to forget what the story is all about. I am not assuming that you know the story of Christmas very well, and I'll narrate as if I'm narrating to a child. And it's going to be a simple introduction to what or who Jesus is. But before I start, I just wanted to ask you, how many of us know the national motto of India? You didn't expect a quiz question, no? I think Mr. Vijay will give you a gift, at least a chocolate for sure. National motto of India? Okay, second question goes. Thank you, Satyameva Jayate. That's fantastic.
Can you give a chocolate?
I think two people answered. Yes.
That's a teacher.
Okay. And what's the book that the father of the nation has written? It's an autobiography. Oh, my teacher gets it again. Oops, disqualified.
Okay. No chocolate, mine.
No, please, double. And interestingly, have you noticed the common word in both? Satyameva Jayate is truth alone triumphs or has victory. And if you see the word, my experience with truth or Satyasodhana is what Mahatma Gandhi had written. Interestingly, our nation is preoccupied with the aspect of truth. And if you think I'm joking, just look at what the saints of the past had said. They said, Asatoma Satgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. It means that lead me from darkness to light, lead me from untruth to truth, lead me from death to immortality. Imagine there's a common thread in a song about the truth, which is very interesting. And interestingly, people from the East are mentioned in scripture. In the Bible, they say that wise men from the East and came and worshipped. You saw in this little play here, they came and looking for a baby, a child who was born to be king. And this child, when he was born of Mary, she was shocked. Before she knew it, she was carrying a child. Imagine that. It's a miraculous birth. And she was surprised that she was having a baby before any relations. And there's a miraculous baby. And there, she knew that something amazing is happening here in the midst of nature. And you know what happens? Then as the child is born, it's prophesied that a child will be born of a virgin hundreds of years earlier. And also talked about the death of this person. So much so that Mary, it says that a sword pierced her soul. There was sadness on her birthday, in a sense. Though there was joy to the world as we sang, there was some kind of sadness also because there was going to be an unnatural and a premature death of this baby. Now you may say, hey, it's a birthday story. I thought you were saying it's going to be a sad story you're going to narrate. No, not really. I'm going to tell the truth. Now this person I'm going to talk about is one who claimed very peculiar things. Who claimed things which were so odd, we will wonder why. These are inner cries of the heart. I'll pause at this point and I go back to my medical days when it happened that the first time as a house surgeon, I was doing a CPR on a person thinking that I might resuscitate her. She had a cardiac arrest. And truly so, a few minutes later she died. I was looking at the lifeless form in front of me, and I was shocked. My senior resident walks along and says, "Hey Raj, get going man, let's go out and have dinner." I just couldn't. I was shocked. I went out into the lawn and looked up to the heavens and said, "Hey, what's going on? Life and death is so simple. I'm going to die someday. As surely as birth is, all of us know for sure, death is going to come." And I have never seen anybody in my medical field who came back from the dead. Have any of you? Nobody has seen death and tasted of it and come back again to tell a story. It's so odd, it's like a mysterious door at the end of our lives that we don't know what's going to happen. Life goes on as if it's going to be forever, isn't it so? The way we celebrate life. But actually it's like this. We are jumping off a building and we're in midair. When we crash, we're going to die, isn't it? In between is life, if I can make a picture. It's very sobering. Even as you sat here, you know how long you would have traveled? Teacher, I'll ask again. What is the distance you have traveled in the last 5 minutes that I've spoken? Guess, at least. Did you travel at all? No. Did you travel at all? Did you move? How much did you move? You're not moving, isn't it? Shall I tell you the truth? You have moved 30 kilometers per second. Right now. And you have rotated 30 kilometers per minute as you stood. Shocking, isn't it? You've traveled 1,000 kilometers already just in the last 5 minutes. You didn't even feel it. That's the revolution speed of the earth and the rotation, if you see. You know why I'm mentioning these? Many fascinating things happen without us even realizing it. And life is like that. But there is a point in time when we have to come to the terminus and say, what about it now? And if you wonder why am I throwing up so many philosophical questions and saying, hey, what is it about this baby? Now I'll come to this baby. This baby came to claim in his life the words that I'm speaking about. Truth we always think is about an idea, a perfect concept or something of that sort, a mathematical proposition or some kind of a truth. But you know what he said? He said, I am the truth. Interesting. And he said, I am the life. Remember what we talked about, Amritangamaya, about eternal life? And he also said, I am the light. If you all know physics, the only constant, if you look at the speed of light going in any direction, it's the same. For calculations, k is taken as a constant. And here, a person is saying, I am the light. He's not saying, I'm going to throw light on something. He's not saying, I'm going to tell you a truth. He's not saying that I shall talk about life. He said something strange. He said, I am the life. I am the truth. I am the light. Now, it is a historical proof, very clearly about this entity, Jesus Christ. It looks like a mystery and a myth from the Bible, isn't it? So I was, as a medical student, I said, hey, this must be a story that these guys celebrate at Christmas time. I don't care who Jesus is. But suddenly I said, let me just explore who this man is. Is it for real? They celebrate December 25th as Christmas. Nobody knows if it's 25th or not in the first place. Maybe a wintry time, probably. But certainly the historicity of his birth is for real. I was shocked when I checked in Encyclopedia Britannica that historians have recorded this, not the Bible. Ptolemy, Suetonius, Josephus, Tacitus. Historians have recorded the life of Jesus in different bits. It's surprising. This was a historical person. And you may say, how can a person who is born ever talk about eternity and life? The concept is this. Imagine a person who has created time itself. We all know that time began, isn't it? Now physics has proved in the Big Bang that time has begun, like space. It's not there, been there all along in the past. And when time begins, someone who has created time can step in and step out of time. He looks at time like a line on a page. He can look at a life from the beginning to the end because he's out of time. He can step into time. And that's what we sing about. A person stepping into darkness from light. We know that God is an unapproachable light. I'm just making an invitation on the story of this boy who was born and what we celebrate as Christmas. Why is it full of joy? You know, he was called a few names I want to mention about. He was predicted that he would be called Emmanuel, God with us. Oh, he's going to be God with us? I can't approach him. He's so holy and so far away. And Mary names him, in accordance to what the angel says, Gabriel, Jesus. Because he will save them from their sins. It's very interesting. You might be wondering, what is this name? Imagine all the names that I'm telling. Just look at those names. It's fascinating. No one in history has been a person like this. And my invitation, actually, today, is to explore this person. That's it. And say, who is this man who's claiming all these things? Who is this person? He's fascinating. Because if I know about this person, he might tell me what happens after death. Because he was crucified and he died and he came back from the dead. There were historical proofs of that too. And it's stunning. When you look at the fact and say, I want to know about this person. I want to know about this person who calls himself all these names. And you may wonder, what a fantastic Bible story this is. I mean, what a fantastic story this is in the first place. And I ask you, dear friends, this day, will you take a bit of a time? I know that we all live lives as if it's a never-ending story, isn't it so? Oh, aaj ye raat to niklega bhi nahi, or my life will never stop kind of life. You know, life we never know when it's going to stop. I have seen people suddenly dying. Scores of them. Scores of them. And imagine, there's a person who walks in and says, this man is going to be called, he will save you from your sins. Now I'll explain that just in 2 minutes. And I think I should stop. And I'll say this. How many of you are good people here? I don't know. How many of you know good people? You're modest, you won't tell about yourself, so at least. At least your neighbors, please, come on. Hey, your friends sitting beside you. Good people, please. Do you know good people? Yes. This is shocking. AFS, good people. Do you know good people? Yes. Oh, thank you. Please raise your hand. Thankfully, after a long time, some hands raised. It's so difficult for good people, isn't it? Okay. Now I'm going to ask you, have you seen a perfect person ever in your life? Good people itself, like, maybe. Perfect is out of the question. You're not going to raise it in your lifetime. You know what that is? You know why? Because we are almost wired for imperfection in some sense. It's strange. We just can't live a perfect life. And the moment we are imperfect, we are out of the presence of God, who is perfect. By definition, He is perfect. And here comes the answer logically. What is it that can cleanse that which is imperfect, that which is dirty? It's something pure, something like water, something that's pure. And you know what? Only a perfect person can ever cleanse an imperfect person. Imagine trying to wash a dirty floor with dirty water. You just can't. It's very logical. It has to be a perfect person. And someone has to pay the price for my imperfection and sin. I might have done so many sins, not only against me, my own creator, against people around me. Now that's the whole logic of this strange person who says, I have come in perfection as a gift from God. People talk about Christmas gifts as if they're gifts to be received as some object sitting there. But the Christmas gift is Jesus Himself. That's the story of Christmas. We celebrate with Santa Claus coming and giving gifts and doing this or that, and it's a joyous time. Suddenly you wonder, where's my Christmas gift? You say, hey, it's already given for free. Many times we really don't cherish and relish those things we've been given for free. And believe me, there's only one thing that's required to receive the gift of Christmas today. You know what that is? Receive. What do you do for a gift? You can't work for a gift, can I? I'll just say, I open my arms and say, thank you for this gift and I take it. So dear friends, I thank God for this opportunity. I just wanted to be as clear as what I wanted to tell about the logic of the story of Christmas and why this child had to be born, who was actually God Himself as a baby, and why this child has to die because He has to make me perfect. And then He says, this gift is to free those who believe it. This is a simple message of Christmas. The birth of Jesus has no meaning if not for His death. And the death has no meaning if not for the fact that He rose again and conquered death. He is one person who has gone to death and come back to tell the story and say, I have given you life eternal. What a blessed thought. Imagine having no fear of death. Today I can stand in front of you and say, I don't fear death. I fly to so many countries, I don't mind popping in the air. Doesn't matter. Not an iota of fear. Nothing. My eternity is in the hands of the one who made time itself and who gave me life itself. What am I to be afraid of? I think I've gone 2 minutes beyond my time. But I would just pause and say, dear friends, you had a wonderful time of celebration. But someday when you go back to your rooms and to your homes and to your lives back, you're surrounded by pain, suffering, problems, and death, for sure. Will you not pause and say, what am I going to make, how am I going to make sense of this? An evil person dies well, a good person dies without justice, and you wonder, what is it like? It's like saying, Shor Duniya mein. It's like an unfinished song, isn't it? Yeah, go on. Sarigama. Yeah, go on. Our lives are unfinished songs. They are finished only in eternity. Dear friends, you want the completion of the song so well? Get to the song maker, the one who's given us this joyous song of Christmas. That's Jesus. God bless you all. Have a good time.